Hi again, everyone. I'm Steve Jones, along with Phil Gross, the editor and publisher of Blue White Illustrated. We welcome you to the Blue White Tailgate Show. First of all, our hearts and prayers and thoughts go out to all the alleged victims that are involved in this case, and along with their family and friends. As we continue with that, it's been a tumultuous week at Penn State, in which everything dramatically changed here within days. The Board of Trustees at Penn State made a stunning statement on Wednesday night.
The Board of Trustees and Graham Spanier have decided that effective immediately, Dr. Spanier is no longer president of the university. In addition, Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach, effective immediately.
It was that last statement that brought the reaction from the people in the room, Phil.
I'll tell you, when I heard the press conference was going to take place, I wasn't prepared for the second part of that statement from the Board of Trustees. I would thought that Joe, they would accept his resignation and let him fill out the remainder of this season.
Joe Paterno had announced his retirement to his team earlier in the day. Early in the day, he first met with his assistant coaching staff. Then he met with his office staff, and then he met with his players. He broke down in tears in front of the office staff. He also broke down in tears in front of his players, and then conducted practice number 68, which turned out to be the final practice of the season and of the career of Joe Paterno. When he found out the news, outside his home, he talked to people briefly.
Get a good night's sleep, all right? Study, all right? We still got things to do, all right? I'm out of it maybe now. A phone call put me out of it, but we'll go from here, okay? Hey, good luck, everybody. And thanks for coming.
What's your statement like for you?
Grateful, but you can also see the pain.
You can see the pain, and it was quite interesting to see the way the student reacted. Sometimes people think the students are the most cynical individuals, the new generation, but right now, from what we've seen here in the State College area, they've turned out to be Penn State's Joe Paterno's biggest supporters.
For Joe Paterno, let's take a look back at what he's accomplished during the course of his football coaching career. 409 wins, number one among any Division I coach, 5 undefeated seasons spanning 4 different decades, 2 national championships, 3 Big Ten championships, including 2 this past decade, the all-time leader in bowl wins with 24, and 5 times National Coach of the Year, and a graduation rate that is even higher than his winning percentage in his career.
You know, it's impressive seeing 409 wins, average almost 9 wins per season for that 46 years that he was Penn State's head football coach. But then to take a look, and his football players were not just football players; they were student athletes, and he turned boys into men, and that's a more remarkable performance to me than the 409 wins, Steve.
After that happened, interim athletic director Mark Shearburn, along with interim president Rodney Erickson, had to make a move. They chose Tom Bradley to be the interim head coach of the Nittany Lions to run through the rest of the season.
I take this job with very mixed emotions due to the situation. I've been asked by the university, by the Board of Trustees, by Rod Erickson to handle this, and I told him I would do it last night, and I will proceed in the manner that Penn State expects. As I met with the players last night and today, I told them the expectations are the expectations. We're not going to waver from that, and that's where we are right now. Players come over last evening to the Lash building. We talked about certain things. We went over certain ways. We proceeded this morning to have a staff meeting and then a team meeting at 8 o'clock.
Tom Bradley, of course, knows he has a big job in front of him, no question.
They couldn't have selected a better man, Steve. Yeah. There's no question. 33 years he's been part of the Penn State coaching staff, 12 years as a defensive coordinator. And while Joe Paterno has suffered through some injuries and some illnesses the past couple of years, Tom Bradley has been one of the guys on this coaching staff that have really helped hold things together with all those problems.
All of this began, of course, on Friday when the grand jury released its findings through the State Attorney General's office, charging Jerry Sandusky with 40 counts, the former Penn State defensive coordinator. Also charged were counts of perjury against Gary Schultz, the former university vice president for finance, and also athletic director Tim Curley. Anna Stefano gives us a timeline of how all of this occurred.
Former Penn State defensive coordinator Jerry Sandusky was arrested on Saturday on charges that he sexually abused 8 boys over the course of 15 years. According to the grand jury presentment, some of these attacks took place here at the Lasch football building. Sandusky met his alleged victims through Second Mile, a nonprofit organization which he founded in 1977 to help at-risk youth. Penn State's athletic director Tim Curley and senior vice president for finance and business Gary Schultz are facing allegations of perjury and failing to report an assault on campus after being told by Coach Joe Paterno that a graduate assistant said he witnessed Sandusky raping a minor male in the Lasch football building shower. The charges being brought against Sandusky include 7 counts of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, 1 count of aggravated indecent assault, and 8 counts of corruption of minors, among many others. On Wednesday, Coach Paterno said that he would retire at the end of the season. But that night, the Penn State Board of Trustees announced that he and University President Graham Spanier would be fired immediately for the way they handled the sex abuse allegations. The announcement was met with outrage from many students who rioted in downtown State College well into the night. Assistant coach Tom Bradley, who has been a full-time member of the football staff since 1980, was named interim head coach. Bradley spoke to the press on Thursday morning. Happy Valley is shrouded in a cloud of emotion, but the team will still play against Nebraska on Saturday. With ongoing protests on campus and Paternoville standing strong, it's hard to say what reaction players will get on Saturday for their game against Nebraska. From outside of the Lasch building, I'm Anna Stefano for the Blue White Tailgate Show.
It is an absolute mystery as to what we're going to see Saturday.
Yeah, sometimes adversity, the team pulls together and plays a fabulous football game, but this is a different circumstance than most when you're talking about a team coming back from adversity and you don't really know emotionally how anyone's really going to react, Steve.
It's senior day. The seniors will run through the tunnel at Beaver Stadium for the final time. Let's take a look at this senior class for the Nittany Lions and what they've accomplished. 37-11. Outback Bowl appearance, Capital One Bowl champs, Big Ten champs, Rose Bowl appearance, 19-2 on senior day of the last 21 years. And the seniors have certainly, as a group, have them at 8-1 right now, Phil. 8-1 on the season.
I remember back in November of 2004 how everyone was upset when Penn State had a 44% winning percentage in the first 5 seasons of the new millennium, and they really turned it around starting in 2005. Yeah. And this class was the recipient of the rebirth of the Penn State football program.
Phil mentioned distractions. That means leadership, and it cannot just be leadership from the coaching staff. Veterans all have been through this before. Leadership has to come from within. Tom Bradley discussed what they need from the players.
We have great leadership on this football team. Okay, once again, when I spoke to them this morning, it's their team, okay? They're not here for me. I'm here to help them be as good as they can possibly be. And that's the direction we're going. I don't think there's any problem. They will be focused. My job is to make sure they stay focused. Obviously, they've had a tremendous amount of distractions over the past week. It's a very resilient group.
To be honest with you, Phil, they've had the distractions, but yes, I've been there. The first 3 practices of the week, while Coach Paterno was there, were actually outstanding practices and very focused.
You know, talking to some people, they say they might have been 3 of the best practice sessions of the year, and that's not totally a surprise to me because I think guys like Devin Still and other players, Derek Moy on offense, even though he was hurt, was almost like Sean Lee all over again as a coach in the field. And I'm not concerned about the leadership among the players on this football team.
And when you look at it, there are a couple of ways it can go. You can if things don't go well early, especially, it's like, oh, here we go, it's been that kind of week, or else they can come out with such fire and determination that they're going to make it happen, that it does happen.
You know, you made a great comment to me before we started the show, and I agree with you. I think maybe what the players would like to do is win this football game and then maybe walk as a unit to Joe Paterno and give him that football.
Well, we'll take a look at the matchup between Penn State and Nebraska. We'll look at the offense against the defense right after this.